Yeah, this is Not Limits. Welcome back to another episode. I hope you're fine and doing well. Today I'm going to share my experience of how I drew this realistic rose with 3 ballpoint pens. It was really a difficult medium to try, but I learned so many techniques and tricks by doing different experiments. And I'm so excited to share each and everything with you all. So grab your pens and let's get started. So I recently bought this 5 color ballpoint pen from an online art store, and it costs about 140 rupees or $1. Brand name is Multo 5, but I think it's a local brand in Pakistan. So you can buy any other multicolor pen you can find. They all work the same. And as I always say, it's not about the brand type or art supplies you are using. It's all about practice and patience. Anyways, this specific multicolor pen has 5 different colors: a blue color, a green, a red, purple, and black. And as always, I'm done with the rough outline, and the link of both the reference image and grid reference is in the description. And I'm gonna use these 2 colors from the pen, red and green. And as always, I tried indenting these veins with my indenting stylus, but they didn't work like they should, because the size of my pen nib is similar to the size of the indentation marks. So they failed terribly, but don't worry, I have a solution for this. Let's shade the leaf with the green pen first. And the basic technique of shading with ballpoint pen is that you have to add these parallel lines slowly and without overlapping them on each other. And make sure you don't leave any space between these lines. I'm gonna fill this whole leaf with a base layer of these similar lines. The real-time tutorial of this drawing is available for patrons, and you can find the link in the description. Okay, now for the second layer, I'm going to use the same shading technique, but the direction of the lines will be different from the previous ones. You can add the upper layer lines at the right angle or at 45 degrees considering the shape of this leaf. Okay, now take your white gel roll pen and add these veins by following the reference image. Or you can just add some random lines like this. You don't have to copy each and every line from the reference. And by the way, you can also use a whitener aka correction pen for this purpose. Okay, now moving on to the second leaf. And I'm gonna follow the same shading process for this one. The only difference is that you have to add a darker shade in this corner portion as a shadow of the upper leaf and flower. Adding the veins with a white gel roll pen. And you can also blend these white lines with a tissue paper. Now moving on to the petals of the rose. First of all, I'm going to shade this single petal to show you the shading process, and then I will move on to the remaining flower. First thing first, you have to shade the area with a red pen, and the only difference is that you have to add several layers in different directions in order to get a perfect red color base. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to the black pen and add some contrast in the corner portion as a shadow of the upper petals. Make sure you don't press the pen too hard against the paper, or you will mess up the base layer and also the whole drawing because you can't erase a ballpoint pen. Just add these light strokes to make the corner portion a little bit contrasty. The overall process is same for all the petals. And again, the real-time tutorial is available on my Patreon profile. You can find the link in the description. I tried smudging the shadings on a rough page and I was surprised to see that I was able to smudge the ballpoint pen. So in order to prevent smudging the petals, I'm gonna shade them from left to right because I don't like sliding an extra paper below my hand while shading. And another plus point of this strategy is that you can click some amazing under process pictures of your drawings for social media posts. Okay, so another thing I noticed in this shading process is that you can use a different technique for these contrasts. You can add these faded strokes in the direction of the gradient, and they will work better than the parallel line technique, but only in this contrast shading, not the base layer. You can clearly see the difference between these two shades. This one's a little bit rough and this one's looks smoother. The only difference is that this specific technique will take more time than the parallel line technique. So it's totally up to you whether you want to invest some extra time or you want your sketch to be a little bit rough. But in my case, I'm gonna merge both the techniques and see where I need to shade with the parallel line technique and where I need the faded line technique. Because I love experimenting new things. Also, this is the first ever drawing I did with the ballpoint pens, and it was really an amazing experience. Please consider trying this medium at least once. I bet you will enjoy its simplicity. Anyways, I experimented something new in this specific portion of the sketch, which increased my shading speed by 2 or 3 times. Only thing I did differently is that I increased the pressure on the pen and started shading with the parallel line technique. In the previous cases, I was shading with the lowest pressure on the pen and by adding several layers to get my desired color tone. But keep in mind that this specific hack is valid only for the base layer. You can't do this with a black pen while adding the contrast. The main purpose of showing you these experiments in my videos is that you don't have to follow those conventional methods and rules in order to get perfect results. There are no rules in arts, it's all about your creativity. Every single individual is creative enough to develop his or her own drawing style and shortcuts. Don't ever hesitate to do mistakes in your drawings. You always learn something new from your mistakes. And whenever you start drawing something new for the first time, pick up the most difficult part of that specific reference and start drawing that specific part in your own style and creativity. And after a maximum of 2 or 3 failed attempts, everything will open up to you and starts to look easier than ever. And again, don't hesitate to do experiments in your drawings. You will always learn something new from them. So anyways, our ballpoint pen drawing is ready. It was really a brief and concise tutorial I ever did. But I hope you enjoyed and learned something new from this. Please consider supporting me on Patreon if you want some extra content every week, or even if you want me to keep making this type of useful content on YouTube. I'm thankful to all these amazing souls and art lovers for their support on Patreon. I recently updated all the reward tiers on my Patreon, and now you have an amazing opportunity to win one of my original artworks. Please visit my Patreon profile for more details. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more tips, tricks and BTS content. So thank you so much for watching, keep learning, keep drawing, and I'll see you on Saturday.